These are not easy times for Florencia Barrientos and her husband Gonzalo Pajes. They own the Santa Evita restaurant in Buenos Aires. But amid the COVID-19 crisis, Barrientos says there's just not enough business and the restaurants may have to close for good.
Venimos de crisis en crisis.
We come from one crisis after another, and we're tired and we're feeling it a lot. We don't know what's going to happen, so we're trying to go day by day, trying to keep things going by selling takeaway. As Argentines, we're used to readapting, but it's not easy.
But the Santa Evita is not the only restaurant trying to survive. There are over 100,000 businesses in Argentina that are on the verge of collapse.
Argentina was already struggling with inflation and recession prior to the pandemic, and that's one of the reasons why many small businesses are finding it difficult to remain open. This restaurant, for example, is shutting down. The owners wrote here that they're closing their business because of the quarantine.
Argentina was one of the first countries in the region to impose a strict lockdown to prevent the spread of disease. It's been over 3 months. But a recent spike in cases in hard-hit areas that include Buenos Aires has convinced the government to extend it even further.
I know not everyone agrees with what we're doing, but we need to do something to stop the amount of contagions. We need to make sure there are enough beds and guarantee that all Argentines get the attention they deserve. For many, this is a mistake, to extend something that has economic consequences. But the World Bank says, not ALBERTO Fernandez, that it's the most severe economic crisis since the 1970s. It's not only Argentina, but the whole world that is deteriorating because of the pandemic.
Even though some businesses in the city were allowed to reopen in recent weeks, they will now have to close their doors again. Meanwhile, authorities are fighting against lockdown fatigue and enormous economic difficulties that have many Argentines on the edge.
If the government, like in other countries, covered part of the economic earnings of retailers like myself, we would be at home without the concerns that you have with mounting bills and debt. That makes you frustrated. And on top of that, you have to feed your family.
The government is giving away cash handouts to help those in need and is assisting businesses. But it's not reaching everyone. A major problem in a crisis that has no end in sight. Teresa, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.